Receptionists greet visitors, answer phone calls, and manage front desk operations to ensure smooth communication and a welcoming environment. They also handle administrative tasks like scheduling appointments, directing inquiries, and maintaining records. In today's video, we explore 29 receptionist interview questions and answers. Each answer can be customized to highlight your unique qualifications and experiences. Before your interview, be sure to research the company and review the job description so you can include key skills relevant to the job role in your answers. Let's explore some general receptionist interview questions. Question number 1. How would your previous employer describe you? This question helps hiring managers understand how others perceive your work and attitude. They want to know if you're dependable, friendly, and able to represent the company well. It also gives them a sense of your soft skills without asking directly. My previous employer would describe me as dependable, approachable, and calm under pressure. I was often the first face people saw when they walked in, and I made sure to greet everyone with a smile and a helpful attitude. Even during busy times, I stayed organized and didn't let stress impact how I treated clients or coworkers. They also appreciated how proactive I was. If I saw something that needed attention, whether it was a scheduling conflict or a supply issue, I would handle it or bring it to the right person quickly. I think they saw me as someone who kept things running smoothly in the background while making the front desk feel welcoming. I always tried to be someone they could count on. Whether it was covering for a coworker or helping solve a problem before it escalated, I take pride in that. Question number 2. Why are you interested in our company? They want to see if you've done your research and genuinely understand what the company stands for. This helps them identify candidates who are a good cultural fit and more likely to stay long-term. I'm interested in your company because it seems like a place that values both professionalism and people. I read about your emphasis on customer experience and teamwork, and I really connect with that. As someone who enjoys being the first point of contact, it's important to me that I represent a business that treats people with respect and care. I also noticed that you offer opportunities for employees to grow, which is something I value. I want to contribute to a team that supports each other and is focused on doing things well, not just quickly. The more I've read and learned, the more I feel this is the kind of place where I could bring value and also continue developing my skills. I want to work somewhere I'm proud to represent, and your company checks those boxes for me. Question number 3. Why are you interested in this role? Hiring managers want to know if your interest in the role goes beyond needing a job. They're looking for people who understand the role's responsibilities and are excited to take them on. I'm interested in this role because I genuinely enjoy helping people and keeping things organized. I like being in a position where I can make someone's day a little easier, whether it's by giving clear directions, solving a scheduling issue, or just being a friendly face at the front desk. This role combines customer service, attention to detail, and multitasking, all things I've grown confident in through past experience. I also like the idea of being the go-to person who keeps things flowing, both for clients and for the team. I've worked in similar settings before, and I know how much of a difference a receptionist can make. I take pride in creating a smooth, welcoming experience for everyone who walks in the door. Question number 4. What are the characteristics of a quality receptionist? They want to know if you understand what makes someone successful in this role. This helps them see if your values and strengths align with what the position actually requires. A quality receptionist is friendly, organized, and reliable. They're the first person people see, so it's important to create a welcoming and professional atmosphere from the very first moment. Being approachable while still handling tasks efficiently is key. They also need to manage time well, handle interruptions calmly, and keep information accurate, whether that's managing schedules, updating records, or taking messages. I think a great receptionist also has strong communication skills and knows how to adapt based on who they're speaking to. For example, they might need to give a nervous client reassurance, explain a policy to a visitor, or shift gears quickly if a meeting runs late. They're often juggling a lot behind the scenes, but they make it look smooth. That's the kind of receptionist I aim to be. Question number 5. What about clerical work interests you? Hiring managers ask this to find out if you enjoy the daily responsibilities of the role. They want someone who takes pride in the behind-the-scenes work that keeps things organized and running smoothly. I actually really enjoy clerical work because it brings structure to the day and helps everything stay on track. I like organizing files, keeping schedules up to date, and knowing that even the small details are taken care of. It feels good to finish a day knowing things are in order and people have what they need. There's something satisfying about checking off tasks and knowing you're making life easier for both clients and coworkers. I also enjoy the mix of routine and unpredictability. You might be answering phones one minute and updating a report the next. Clerical work may not always be in the spotlight, but I've found that it's essential to the overall flow of any office. I take pride in doing it well. Question number 6. What are your greatest strengths pertaining to office work? This question gives you a chance to highlight skills directly related to the receptionist role. They want to know you can handle tasks efficiently while keeping a professional, customer-focused mindset. One of my strengths is staying organized. Even when things get busy, I've always been good at juggling multiple tasks like answering phones, managing calendars, and greeting clients without letting anything fall through the cracks. I use checklists and digital tools to stay on top of things and make sure deadlines and appointments are always accurate. I'm also a strong communicator. Whether I'm writing emails, answering calls, or helping someone face to face, I aim to be clear, friendly, and helpful. People feel comfortable asking me for help, and I think that's important in this role. I'm also extremely reliable. I show up on time, follow through on what I say I'll do, and try to make the day run smoothly for everyone around me. That consistency really matters in office work. Question number 7. What are your greatest weaknesses pertaining to office work? Hiring managers ask this to see if you're self-aware and working to improve. They're not expecting perfection, but they do want to know how you handle challenges and take feedback. One area I've been working on is not overcommitting when things get busy. I like to be helpful, so sometimes I'll take on too many tasks at once and stretch myself a bit thin. I've learned that it's okay to pause, look at what's already on my plate, and speak up if I need to shift priorities. I've gotten better at checking in with my supervisor when new tasks come in, just to make sure I'm focusing on what's most important first. It's helped me stay more balanced and avoid rushing through things. I still want to be helpful and dependable, but I've realized that saying yes to everything doesn't always serve the team best. I'm working on finding that balance, and I think it's made me more thoughtful in how I manage my time. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. You can download a copy of these interview questions and answers in PDF format by clicking on the link below and supporting my channel by making a minimum donation of $3. Your support allows me to keep creating valuable content to help you pass your interview and land your dream job. Thanks for your support and appreciation. Question number 8. What do you know about the work we do? Hiring managers want to know if you've taken the time to learn about the company and its services. It shows that you're genuinely interested and already thinking about how you could contribute in your role. From what I've read and researched, your company focuses on delivering high-quality services in a professional and customer-focused environment. Whether that's through supporting clients directly or helping your internal team stay organized, it's clear that strong communication and attention to detail are important here. I saw that you prioritize building long-term client relationships, which really stood out to me. That tells me you're not just looking for quick service. You want every interaction to leave a good impression. As a receptionist, I'd play a key role in making sure that happens from the first phone call to when someone walks through the door. It seems like a place where teamwork, professionalism, and a strong service attitude all matter, which is exactly the kind of environment I'm looking for. Question number 9. How do you keep up with trends in this industry? They want to see if you're curious, adaptable, and interested in improving. Staying current means you can bring fresh ideas and handle changes in technology or procedures confidently. I stay up to date by reading industry blogs and following customer service or admin professionals on LinkedIn. I also enjoy short courses or videos on time management, communication, and using software like Microsoft 365 or scheduling platforms. Even learning small tips can make a big difference in how smoothly the front desk runs. In past roles, I've also picked up a lot by asking coworkers about how they do things or what tools they use. Everyone has their own tricks, and I love finding new ways to make things more efficient or improve how we serve people. If the company offers training, I'm always happy to join in. I think learning regularly helps me stay sharp and be more helpful to the team. Question number 10. Do you enjoy working with clients? Client interaction is a big part of being a receptionist. They want to know if you genuinely enjoy helping people and can stay friendly and professional in all kinds of situations. Yes, I genuinely enjoy working with clients. I like being someone they can count on to answer questions, solve small issues, or just make their visit more pleasant. Whether it's their first time visiting or they're a regular, I treat every interaction like it matters. Even when someone is in a hurry or upset, I try to stay calm and listen carefully to what they need. Sometimes it's about solving a problem, but often it's just about making someone feel heard and respected. That kind of approach can really change their whole experience. I've always believed that how someone is greeted or helped sets the tone for everything else. I take pride in being that first point of contact and making sure people walk away feeling like they were taken care of. Here are some receptionist interview questions based on your background and experience. Question number 11. What programs and software are you most experienced using? Receptionists often juggle multiple systems for scheduling, communication, and documentation. Hiring managers want to know you're comfortable with the tools you'll be using day to day and whether you can adapt to new ones quickly. I'm most experienced with Microsoft Office, especially Outlook, Word, and Excel. I use Outlook daily to manage calendars, schedule meetings, and keep track of follow-ups. I'm also confident using Microsoft Teams and Zoom for virtual meetings, and I've worked with scheduling platforms like Calendly and appointment systems for client bookings. In my last role, I used a CRM system to update client records and a phone system with call routing features, so I'm used to managing multiple platforms at once. I pick up new systems pretty quickly. When we switched to a new booking tool, I was one of the first to learn it and help train others on the team. Being familiar with a variety of tools helps me work more efficiently and respond to requests without delays. I enjoy finding little shortcuts and using features like email templates or calendar alerts to stay organized. Question number 12. Can you please explain how you stay organized? Receptionists often handle a wide range of tasks throughout the day. Employers want to know that you can manage interruptions and still keep everything on track, from calls to appointments to paperwork. I stay organized by starting each day with a clear list of tasks using both digital tools and a notebook. I use Outlook for appointments and email follow-ups, and I write down quick notes throughout the day so nothing gets missed. I prioritize urgent requests, but also make sure to block out time for routine tasks like checking messages, filing, and ordering supplies. If something unexpected comes up, like a walk-in client or a last-minute meeting, I adjust my plan and make sure to circle back to anything I had to pause. One thing that helps me stay organized is keeping my workspace tidy and labeling documents clearly. I've found that a small effort in keeping things in order saves time and reduces stress later. Being organized isn't just about lists, it's about creating systems that help you stay on top of everything even when the day gets busy. Question number 13. What makes you a qualified receptionist? This question helps hiring managers understand what strengths and traits you bring to the front desk. They want to see how you see yourself fitting into the role and whether you understand what the job really requires. I believe I'm a qualified receptionist because I'm approachable, detail-oriented, and reliable. I've worked in roles where I managed front desk responsibilities like greeting visitors, handling phones, scheduling appointments, and managing daily office operations. I understand the importance of being the first impression of a company and keeping things running smoothly behind the scenes. I'm also great at staying calm and helpful, even when things get hectic. Whether it's answering phones while checking in a guest or helping someone find the right department, I stay focused and polite. I'm confident using scheduling software, Microsoft Office, and email systems, and I'm comfortable learning new tools if needed. What makes me a strong fit is that I genuinely enjoy helping people and making sure things are handled with care and accuracy. The front desk isn't just about answering calls, it's about making people feel welcome and supported. Question number 14. What kind of products or services did your previous employer offer? This question checks whether you understand the business you worked for and how well you represented it. Receptionists often answer questions about services, so it's important to show you took time to learn what your company offered. My previous employer was a private medical clinic that offered general practice services along with minor procedures, vaccinations, and wellness checkups. We also had visiting specialists for dermatology and physiotherapy, so I often had to explain those options to patients and help them book appointments. I made sure I understood the basics of each service so I could answer common questions and direct people to the right department. We also handled a lot of insurance-related queries, so I became familiar with how different providers worked and what information patients would need. Knowing the services inside and out made it easier to help both new and returning patients. It also made me feel more confident at the front desk because I could answer questions quickly or flag more complex ones to the right team member. I like being able to give people clear, helpful answers instead of just passing them along. Question number 15. Do you have experience working in a fast-paced environment? Receptionists often deal with multiple calls, walk-ins, and internal requests at once. Hiring managers want to know if you can keep up without feeling overwhelmed or letting things fall through the cracks. Yes, I've worked in several fast-paced environments where I had to multitask and respond quickly without losing focus. In my last role at a dental office, there were times when I'd be answering phones, checking in patients, responding to emails, and handling payments all at once. I learned to prioritize tasks based on urgency. If a patient was waiting at the front desk, I'd quickly wrap up any call and give them my full attention. I also kept detailed notes and used callback lists so I didn't forget to follow up later. What helped me most was staying calm and keeping a friendly tone, no matter how busy things got. People can sense stress, especially when they're walking into an unfamiliar setting. I think staying composed and organized made a big difference in how smooth the front desk ran. Question number 16. When have you used technology to help you with administrative tasks? Receptionists often rely on technology to manage their responsibilities more efficiently. Hiring managers want to know that you're not just comfortable using tools, but that you can apply them in practical ways to save time, stay organized, and improve service. In my previous role, I used several tools to help with admin tasks. One example was when I created a shared digital calendar using Outlook that synced across departments. This made scheduling easier, reduced double bookings, and allowed the team to view updates in real time. I also used Excel to track inventory of office supplies and built a simple template with formulas so I could update quantities quickly. It saved a lot of time during monthly ordering. For daily communication, I used Teams to share quick updates and task reminders, which helped keep things moving without needing to send multiple emails. I really enjoy finding ways to use technology to make routine tasks more manageable. Once I learn a tool, I try to make the most of its features. Question number 17. What strategies do you use to fix your mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes, but it's how you handle them that matters. This question helps hiring managers understand your accountability, attention to detail, and willingness to learn from experience. If I make a mistake, the first thing I do is take responsibility. I don't try to hide it. I'd rather flag it early so it can be corrected before it causes any bigger issues. I go back, figure out exactly what went wrong, and then fix it right away if I can. For example, I once booked a client's appointment for the wrong time slot. As soon as I realized it, I called them to reschedule and apologized, then updated our calendar and left a note for the team so they were all aware. After that, I added a second confirmation step to my process by reviewing appointments at the end of each day. That simple change helped prevent it from happening again. I believe mistakes are learning opportunities, and I always try to use them to strengthen how I work. Question number 18. Are you comfortable using spreadsheets to access data? Receptionists may use spreadsheets for tracking tasks, logging calls, or updating records. This question helps them gauge your comfort level with organizing and retrieving data accurately using tools like Excel or Google Sheets. I'm very comfortable using spreadsheets. I've used both Excel and Google Sheets for tasks like tracking office supplies, updating contact lists, and logging client check-ins. I know how to filter data, use basic formulas like sum and if, and format cells to make things easier to read. In my last role, I managed an appointment tracking sheet for a multi-provider clinic. Each provider had their own color-coded column, and I used filters to quickly find gaps or overlaps in the schedule. I also created drop-down lists to help with consistency when updating appointment types. I like how spreadsheets give you a clear overview of what's happening. They've helped me stay organized and cut down on errors because I can check and double-check the details quickly. Question number 19. What strategies do you use to prioritize tasks? Receptionists often have to juggle multiple demands at once. Hiring managers want to see if you have a reliable approach to staying focused, managing competing requests, and keeping important tasks from falling through the cracks. My main strategy is to start each day by reviewing what's urgent and what's important. I check the calendar, flag any same-day meetings or deadlines, and make a to-do list with a few top priorities. If unexpected requests come in, I evaluate how they compare to what I already have planned. For example, if a phone call or walk-in is time-sensitive, I'll pause what I'm doing and return to it after. I try to group similar tasks, like replying to emails or restocking supplies, so I'm not constantly switching focus. If I'm ever unsure about which task to do first, I check in with my supervisor to make sure I'm aligned with what matters most that day. Staying flexible but structured helps me stay productive without feeling overwhelmed. And finally, here are some common advanced and behavioral receptionist interview questions. Question number 20. How would you work toward creating a good first impression for clients? Receptionists are often the first point of contact. Hiring managers ask this to see if you understand how important it is to represent the company in a friendly, professional, and approachable way. They want someone who can make clients feel welcomed and valued from the moment they walk in or call. To create a good first impression, I focus on being present, polite, and prepared. I greet every client with a warm smile and eye contact, and I make sure to say their name if I know it. Even if I'm busy, I always take a moment to acknowledge someone walking in. It shows respect and sets the tone. I also make sure the front desk area is clean and organized because it reflects on the business. If someone's visiting for the first time, I offer to walk them through check-in or explain what they can expect. It's the little things like offering water or checking in on wait times that make people feel seen. I believe a good first impression isn't just about professionalism, it's about making someone feel like they matter. Question number 21. What techniques would you use to calm a challenging visitor? Receptionists often encounter frustrated or upset visitors. This question helps assess how you stay calm under pressure and whether you can use empathy, patience, and communication to de-escalate situations without making them worse. If a visitor is upset, I start by listening, really listening, without interrupting or getting defensive. Most of the time, people just want to feel heard. I keep my tone calm and respectful and avoid matching their energy, even if they raise their voice. Once I understand the issue, I repeat it back to them so they know I'm taking it seriously. Then I try to offer a solution, or if it's something I can't fix directly, I let them know I'll involve the right person who can. I also give them a realistic time frame so they're not left waiting in the dark. If I need help, I won't hesitate to loop in a manager to support me. The key is to stay focused on resolving the issue without taking it personally. My goal is always to turn the situation around and leave the person feeling more calm and respected than when they arrived. Question number 22. What steps would you take to plan a business trip? Receptionists are often asked to help with scheduling travel. Hiring managers want to know if you can handle logistics, pay attention to detail, and anticipate needs like transportation, accommodation, and itinerary planning. When planning a business trip, I start by confirming the travel dates, destination, and purpose of the trip so I can build a clear itinerary. I book flights or trains with arrival times that allow for any delays or prep time before meetings. I also look for accommodations close to the event or meeting location to reduce travel stress. After that, I arrange transport to and from the airport, and I check if a rental car or rideshare is preferred. I create a full itinerary with confirmation numbers, contact details, and addresses, and I send it in advance, printed and digitally. I also double-check things like dietary preferences, frequent flyer accounts, or passport or visa needs if international travel is involved. My goal is to make the trip as smooth as possible, so the traveler can focus on their meetings and not the logistics. Question number 23. What would you do if a client walked in right as the phone was ringing? This question tests how you juggle in-person and phone responsibilities without compromising service. They want to see if you can multitask under pressure and still create a positive first impression. If a client walked in as the phone rang, I'd make quick eye contact and smile to acknowledge the client, then answer the phone with a polite greeting. I'd keep the call brief if possible, just enough to assist or place the caller on hold respectfully, then turn my full attention to the person in front of me. It's about balancing both interactions without making anyone feel ignored. I've learned that even a small gesture like a smile or hand gesture to show just a moment can go a long way in keeping things smooth. Staying calm and professional helps me stay in control, even during busy moments. My goal is always to make sure both the caller and the client feel seen and supported. Question number 24. What would you do if a client showed up 30 minutes late for their appointment? They're looking for someone who handles time-sensitive issues with professionalism and courtesy. This shows how you manage disruptions while respecting both clients and the business schedule. If a client arrived 30 minutes late, I'd greet them warmly and check with the team to see if we could still fit them in without disrupting other appointments. If it wasn't possible, I'd explain that we may need to reschedule to avoid inconveniencing others. The key is to stay polite and never make the client feel embarrassed. I might say something like, "We always want to give each client the full time they deserve, and since we're now running into the next booking, I'd be happy to look at the soonest available spot." I'd offer a couple of reschedule options right away and note it clearly in the system. It's about protecting everyone's time while showing flexibility and care. Even when things run off schedule, I try to keep the tone helpful and positive. Question number 25. How would you stay upbeat on days you need to work long hours? Receptionists are often the first point of contact, so staying pleasant even during long shifts matters. Hiring managers want to know if you can manage your energy and attitude consistently. I found that staying upbeat during long days starts with preparation. I make sure to get enough rest and eat well before my shift, so I'm not running on empty. I also like to break the day into chunks. It helps me stay focused and not feel overwhelmed. Even on the busiest days, I remind myself that the way I greet someone can shape their whole experience. That gives me a sense of purpose, which helps keep my energy up. I also make time to step away briefly when possible. Even 5 minutes of quiet helps reset my mindset. I keep a calm, friendly attitude because I know that consistency is part of being dependable. Customers and coworkers rely on that steady presence, and I take pride in offering that. Question number 26. What would you do if a fellow receptionist wasn't following the company's policies? This helps them understand your integrity and how you handle peer-related issues. They want someone who supports the team while still respecting company standards. If I noticed a fellow receptionist wasn't following policy, I'd first make sure I understood the full situation. If it seemed like a one-time oversight, I might gently bring it up in a private conversation, just to give them a chance to correct it themselves. If it continued or involved something more serious, I'd speak with the supervisor. I wouldn't confront the person in front of others, and I'd keep my tone supportive, not accusatory. For example, I might say, "I've noticed we're handling check-ins differently, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page." I believe part of being a good teammate is helping each other stay accountable, but also giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's about protecting the workplace standards without causing conflict. Question number 27. How would you diffuse a tense situation between a colleague and a client? They want to see how you handle conflict, especially when it involves protecting the company's reputation while supporting coworkers and customers. Staying calm under pressure is key. If I notice tension between a colleague and a client, I'd step in with a calm, neutral tone and gently guide the conversation away from the conflict. I might say something like, "Let me see how I can help with this," and listen to both sides without placing blame. My first goal would be to de-escalate the situation and make the client feel heard. I'd then check in privately with my colleague afterward to understand what happened and see how we can prevent it from repeating. People can get frustrated, especially when emotions run high, but a little patience and clear communication can go a long way. I believe in being a steady, respectful presence who helps turn tense moments into solutions. Question number 28. What steps would you take to make an important client feel welcomed? They want to know if you understand the value of first impressions and customer care. Receptionists often set the tone for the whole business interaction. I'd make sure to greet them with a warm smile and their name if I know it. If I'm expecting them, I'd be ready with any materials or information they might need, and I'd offer them a seat, drink, or anything to make them comfortable. I'd also let the relevant person know they've arrived right away so they're not left waiting. If there's a short delay, I'd keep them updated and engaged with small talk or offer reading material just to show they haven't been forgotten. Little touches, like knowing how they take their coffee or remembering previous visits, can leave a lasting impression. My goal is to make them feel valued from the moment they walk in. And finally, here's the last question. Question number 29. Are you willing to learn how to use additional administrative software? Technology is constantly changing, and hiring managers want someone who's open to learning new systems and tools that support the front desk. Flexibility matters. I'm definitely willing to learn any new software that helps me do my job better. I've worked with basic scheduling systems and office tools, and I pick up new programs quickly once I get the chance to explore them. I see new software as an opportunity to make things smoother and more efficient, both for the team and for clients. Whether it's a CRM system, a digital phone directory, or a booking platform, I'm happy to take the time to get comfortable with it. I'm always open to training or tutorials, and don't hesitate to ask questions if I'm unsure. I want to be someone who keeps things running smoothly, not someone who gets stuck when tools change. If you want to learn more on how to land jobs and reach your career goals, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button to get new videos every single week. Also, don't forget to hit that like button because that motivates me to keep doing what I do. Stay safe, keep smiling, and good luck.